G. Question paper. 1. Analyze the paper. First things first, as soon as you get the question paper, you must quickly glance through the entire paper to assess the overall difficulty level of questions. Next, you should select the questions wisely by filtering out all the easy and average problems and answering them first. Trust me, this will not only improve your score but also save a lot of heartburn if you run out of time and are not able to attempt the questions which are your strong points. 2. Solve in cycles. G is a moderate level examination. Hence, there will be many questions based on answer substitutions. Follow the order that you've decided and try to attempt such type of questions in all 3 subjects. As soon as you see a question, start solving, and if it's taking more than a minute or 2, skip it. Always keep an eye on your watch. After one such cycle of solving problems, you would have solved most of the easy questions. Now start the second cycle and attempt other problems. After you have attempted all the questions at least once, you won't see anything new in the subsequent cycles. Working in cycles makes the difficult problems easier as you are not attempting them all at once but in intervals. 3. Subject order. Once you're done with solving the relatively easier and average questions, you must decide an order to attempt the rest of the question paper. We recommend the following approach to address the question paper: solve your strongest subject first, followed by your weakest subject, and in the end, solve the subject where you're average. This tried and tested approach has multiple benefits. Firstly, since you have solved the easiest subject first, a large number of questions are out of the way and you have also gained a lot of marks in a short period. At the same time, it gives you loads of confidence. Take my word, G main also tests your temperament. The increased confidence then makes you sail through your weakest subject. After that, you can focus on the third subject. 4. Play to your strength. Another approach to solving the G main question paper is to attempt chemistry first and then either mathematics or physics. This strategy also has its merits. Chemistry, as a subject, offers the highest scoring potential, even if it's your weakest subject. It's also a time saver as it requires the least amount of computations and the answers are usually binary in nature. You either know the correct one or don't know it. There's no third alternative and hence, no wastage of time. This approach leaves you time for computational problems in mathematics and physics. After finishing chemistry, go for the subject where you are weaker among mathematics and physics, because of reasons we've already mentioned. We advise you to try both the approaches in practice tests and find out which suits you the best. 5. Subject-wise strategy. To an extent, the subject strategy would vary from person to person. However, there are a few tips that apply to everyone. Consider chemistry. Some people first attempt everything in inorganic chemistry. There are a few merits attached to this approach as well. Inorganic chemistry is all about your ability to remember stuff, mostly. So, when you attempt them first and get them out of the way, you free your mind from the stress of remembering, which allows you to focus on other aspects of chemistry. It worked for me. The same applies to physics and mathematics. 6. Importance of rough work. We tend to ignore the enormous role that rough work plays in paper solving. Randomly scribbled rough work is very detrimental if you are aiming for a good score. First of all, use little space while doing rough work. It's a good practice to keep large, vacant spaces in the paper because having backup space is crucial. At the same time, mark your rough work. Write the question corresponding to the solution. When you are rechecking your answers, such meticulousness helps a lot. You will be able to go through the sheet much faster with fewer chances of mistakes. Trust me, I've saved almost 20 to 25 marks just through the habit of rechecking. Also, rough work doesn't mean well-written answers. Just write the necessary steps. Work on skipping the small computational steps. 7. Time management. Now that we've understood how to attempt the question paper in a structured manner, let's discuss time management. If you follow the cycles of solving papers as explained above, each question in the first cycle should not take more than a minute or so. After the first cycle, keep a check on the time spent on each question. In an examination like G, high attempt rates are crucial. Keep going through the cycles till you have about 30 to 35 minutes left. Stop the solving cycle and recheck all your answers. If you've followed the guideline on rough work, this will get over in 10 minutes. Assuming you take 15 minutes, you'd still have 20 minutes of buffer. By now, you would have attempted most of the questions you are capable of solving. In this buffer time, address the questions which you are confident about solving within the time frame. You may still end up getting a few marks, and these few marks could be crucial rank deciders. In the end, it's about optimizing your time. This method ensures that you don't end up solving a question for 15 minutes, answers to which may not even be correct, and leaving a very simple problem for the lack of time. Conclusion. Finally, remember that speed and accuracy are of paramount importance in GMain. High speed with low accuracy is the most dangerous thing while solving the paper. You must understand that each student might have a personal strategy. The approach that suits me might not work for you. So, solve as many papers as you can, get to know your comfort zones and strategize your moves accordingly. In the end, it all boils down to the amount of tireless dedication and hours of practice that you put in.